guys, good morning from my cold winter house. Today we're going to be looking at adding running heads to your Microsoft Word document for publication on Amazon KDP paperback. I have a book open here about being an Italian lady. So running heads are these little bits of text that stay at the top of every page. I would like to get this to be only 2 pages. So what we are doing when we're having running heads, the first thing you need to do is make sure that all of your chapters end in section breaks. So you can go up here, toggle this little paragraph symbol, and it'll show you all your paragraph, and at the end of every chapter, section break. This is like a section header. So this also, you can see here is a little section break. And if you don't, or if you're missing section breaks somewhere, it's very easy to put it in. You just go layout, breaks, section, next page, and that'll put it in there. So the reason we need those is that's what tells Word where to start your section. So the first thing you need to do if you start, you never want to have a running head at the beginning of a chapter or section starter. It's just not done. So you want to look up here and say different first page. Okay, so that gets rid of it there. And you might be wondering why these are on the inside. Well, Microsoft Word has a funny quirk where it does not have the show cover page view option. So your book starts with one page on the right, and then your spreads go from there. Your even numbers will always be on the left side and odd on the right side. So you can see Word itself does it backwards when you're in editing mode. But if you click Control P and do print preview, you can see that title will actually end up on the other side. So you just want to make sure, and so we're going to have Alessandra Rapini on this left page, even though, you know what, we're actually going to change these. So we're going to say how to get the best of the Italian lady is going to go here, and Alessandra Rapini is going to go here. Whoops. Alessandra Rapini. Okay, and we actually want this, if we're in our headers, we can choose, we want this to go over on that side and for her to be on that side. Okay, so we're looking, we've got section 5 here, that's blank, and the section header page is its own section because we need the first page of this and the first page of this. And we go through, and this chapter is called What Sets the Italian Lady Apart. So I actually had that incorrectly named. What sets the Italian lady apart? And we're going to go down, and this is fine. Page break, page break. And so here's our next section, 6. You can see up here that we have different first page, but we have link to previous on, and we do not want that on because what that means is it's going to, the next section will have the same heading as this. So we turn off link to previous, and then we can call this how to get the best of the Italian lady, which will go here. And Alessandra Rapini can stay linked to previous. How to get the best of the Italian lady. We go through. Okay, 7. The many species of Italian lady. Okay, so again, you can see it's not linked to previous. We have the different first page here. Okay, and whenever you want to just check how it looks, you can go to print preview, and you can see, okay, we've got, see, that's incorrect. We want Alessandra Rapini on the left and the chapter heading on the right, and now we have that, so we need to fix that. And Word can be a little wonky sometimes, and you do one thing and then it changes it to a different thing. So we want to unlink to previous and do Alessandra Rapini. So when you're doing these, you really need to check every single page. I've changed one, and you just have one thing accidentally set linked to previous, and it changes everything after it, and then you're like, my goodness, and you have to go through. So you need to go through page by page. Sorry, you need to go through page by page and make sure that they all have the correct chapter titles, that you don't have them at the beginning. And then this one is what Italian elegance is all about. Okay. And so in terms of size, this is also sort of a personal thing. If you think these are a little too close, you can make your header bigger. You can also put these running heads in the center. That's a very easy option. I have the page numbers down here in the center. So you see chapter 6, we need to get rid of that. I don't need to do this whole thing right now. I'm just wanting to show you that this is how you're going to have to do it. So you want to do different first page and unlink to previous, how the Italian lady chooses her look. And we change that here. How the Italian lady chooses her look. And we once again can just check that. If we want to give a little more space to these heads, we can change this here, but just note that changing this in this section will only change this section of the book. If we want to do the entire book, we can go to our layout here, click this little arrow that expands the dialog box, layout, and we can say header 0.6 if we want, and we want to make sure here apply to whole document. So it's telling us the whole document right now is 0.5, so we want to say 0.6. Whole document, okay. And that puts it a little closer down, but I actually think maybe we want instead to have space after it. So let's see how we can do that. So let's undo that, and we see the headers move back up. We go to home, expand our font style guide over here, and we are on header. So what if we say afterwards 15 point? And that just gives us a little more space at the top. So that looks great. And you can do the same thing with your footer. Right now I have them at 1/4 inch, which is fine. If you feel like this is too close for any reason, that's very much a personal style preference. The more room you have, the nicer a book tends to look, obviously to a point. And the other thing I'll do quickly while we're in here is just take a look at our margins. So you can see our interior margin is 0.875, it rounded to 0.88. Our outside is 0.75. Our top and bottom, it says, are both 0.5. And what that does for us is you can see these nice wide gutters here. And that's really what you want. This is a 6x9 book. You want that extra space so that when you're opening the book, nothing is crowded in the gutter. And this white space on the outside of a page is very important. The last note I'll make about laying out a paperback, a standard sort of novel, self-help book, anything with pages and pages of text, there is a feature that Word doesn't have, and that is good vertical justification. It technically has it. It just does not do a very good job at it, and it does a lot of wonky things. So that's saying that these lines on the bottom of a page will always be perfectly aligned. You want your walls of text to be sort of one image to the reader, one solid thing. And in Word, it doesn't do that great. So some of these are okay, but you know, that one is weird. That one is weird if there's another heading. If you're using a program like InDesign, it will adjust the spacing in between these lines to just drag them out a little bit or squeeze them in a little bit to give you that perfect layout that you're looking for. And Microsoft Word is just not that good at it, which is fine. It's just Microsoft Word, you know, it is what it is. But just so you know, if you don't want to get InDesign and go through learning that, then you just have to be aware of when it's going to end on a page, and you can adjust it manually, but it's a lot of work, and maybe it's something that only typesetters really freak out about, but I think your eyes might notice it. Okay, so that is it for adding heads and checking your margins, and I think you should be pretty much good. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments. Thanks. Bye.